Hi and a very good evening. Welcome to the Dare Act Conversation series powered by the Grey Matter. Our endeavor is to interview inspiring individuals with legal background who've made a career shift to truly follow their passion and decided to start living instead of just making a living. We bring to you one such story today. Today we have Vinay Aravind joining us live. He is a lawyer turned photographer. So let's invite Vinay and let's hear from him his journey from law to lens. Vinay, if you can see me live, I've sent you a request. Yeah, there you are.
Hi.
How
Can
are
you hear
you
me?
doing? Welcome to Dare Act.
Thank you for having me.
I can hear you clearly and I can see you well.
Super.
Amazing. So welcome once again, Vinay. Finally, we've made this happen.
Yes, I know.
And we hope you're as excited as we are today. So, yeah,
Very much so.
fantastic. Okay, so what we understand is you wanted to be a journalist and you ended up becoming a lawyer. Tell us, how did that happen?
Um, I had a vague idea that I wanted to become a journalist, but I was quite uncertain what I wanted to do after school. And my parents sort of said, "Why don't you write this law entrance exam? It's a good place to go study and all that." And I thought, okay, yeah, I'll do it. So I wrote the NLS entrance. and uh, and before the other applications were due for other colleges, I got through. So and I was lazy to apply elsewhere, so I was like, okay, this is a good place, so I'll just go here, see what happens. So that's I sort of stumbled into being a lawyer by that way.
So what happened to being a journalism then? That there was like a bye-bye to it? That story ended there?
It wasn't like some great dream or anything. So it was something I wanted to do, and I just sort of thought, okay, whatever. I've never had any clear idea what I want to do in life. I still don't think I have a clear idea of what I want to do in life. So I was just going with the flow. I got into this good college, so I thought, okay, I'll go there and I'll see what happens.
So
So
clearly your
yeah,
laziness worked in your favor and NNS happened.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So tell us your most fond memories from NLS Bangalore.
Uh, See, the fondest memories are entirely nothing to do with the education part of it. I was not a good student at all. I always just did enough to pass my exams so that I didn't have to write repeats and all that. But the fondest memories are associated with the music festival that we used to have. I used to work on it was called Strawberry Fields, and I used to work on organizing the music fest. And that was great fun. I mean, we used to do that every year, and we used to get a lot of good acts from all over the country. A lot of people came to see the fest, and it had a good reputation back then. So that's my great abiding memory of NLS, the music part of things. And I mean, I also used to. I used to do other stuff also, but this was the one thing that's really memorable. You know, that's it. That's what stays in my heart from my 5 years in law school.
Fantastic. So basically co-curriculars, extracurriculars was where your heart was.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the learning sort of happened a little bit. Uh, some of the courses were good. There were bits of it that I enjoyed, but because I was so lazy and unfocused, I didn't really. There were lots of opportunities. In terms of opportunities, it was a great place to study. I regret a little bit not having made use of those opportunities more. But I had fun, so I guess not too bad on the whole. So yeah.
We're all sure you had your share of fun. Fantastic. So tell us, what kind of work did you handle in your lawyer stint, which was I think 6.5 years.
Yeah, I
Was
did
in
a
Delhi, Bombay, Chennai.
yes, I did a bunch of stuff. first off, I worked with a Big Four firm as an indirect tax consultant. Uh, then I worked
Heavy.
with an IP. Yeah, I mean it was a nice place to work. Lovely team. I'm still in touch with some of them. I visit them when I go to Bombay. But the work itself was too numbers focused. I didn't really enjoy it that much. Then I moved on to an IP firm in Delhi, and I worked there for another year and a half. And I mean, that was an interesting experience as well. I didn't like Delhi very much, so I was very happy to move to Chennai in 2007. A couple of us set up the Chennai office of a Bangalore law firm. And my main focus was technology advice and IP, but it was a small office. We were four lawyers. So, when you're a small office, you do anything that comes your way. So I did commercial real estate. I did some private equity, some M&A, outsourcing contracts, you name it, like all sorts of anything that came our way, which was, I mean, no criminal. I didn't do any litigation either. But yeah, that was yeah, and it was it was a mixed bag of broadly corporate and tech IP work.
And what I
So yeah,
hear is, correct me if I'm wrong, that right before you were being offered partnership, and I think right before, 15 days before is when you decided to quit. Is that correct?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I would have become partner if I'd stuck on for a few months. So yeah, and it was it would have been a lot more scary and difficult to get out after you become
Yeah.
partner. So I mean, it's psychological. Of course, you can get out whenever, but
It's always psychological, isn't it?
yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's not. Oh, that wasn't the main motivation to get out. I was just the more senior you get in a law firm, the less it's about actually solving problems. Less about the law itself and more about managing clients, getting work. This rainmaker stuff, which I was really bad at it. Like, I mean, if I was better at it, maybe I would still be a lawyer. I was really bad at networking. I was really bad at, uh, you know, chatting up clients and all that. So yeah, that stuff was really quite annoying.
Thank you for
Which
being
is
so honest. That's really kind of you. Yeah. Thank you for coming forward so honestly. Because I think it's not just you. I think majority of lawyers go through that phase in their corporate career when there's a transition to take place, and unfortunately, we're not skilled enough or trained for these responsibilities.
yeah, no. Training apart, I think you need to be a certain personality type to be able to go chat up someone, sell yourself, convince them to hire you. You need a certain mindset. You need to be a good marketer. You need to be a good networker. I'm none of those things. I'm really bad at that. See,
So
it's
I'm
okay to do it for
curious.
yourself. It's okay to do
So
it
I'm
for yourself, but when you're doing it for a firm, you're responsible. You're carrying somebody else's name on your visiting card. So it's too much pressure and stress and stuff. So yeah.
So when did you start contemplating a career change?
Uh, I, I, I kept thinking about it over the course of from the beginning. I kept thinking, maybe I want to get out, maybe I want to get out. But the more senior I got, the more urgent it felt. In that this is not what I want to do. This is not my cup of tea. So I think it became clear maybe about 6 months before I finally left that I want to get out and I want to explore what else. I tried to see what else can I do. There were no answers or anything, but despite that, it started to get clearer that this is not for me. So I need to get out. That was the only clarity I could find. So yeah.
So let's make a slight let's go a little ahead to your photography career. And before we get into that, you had a very interesting stint and a very interesting start to your photography career. Tell us about your first gig as a photographer.
Um, so the first time I shot a wedding was my friend's wedding, which was I didn't do it wasn't a gig as such. I just bought a camera. I was trying to figure out how to use it, and he happened to be getting married. So I took a bunch of pictures that turned out sort of okay. And back then, the good thing was that the standards were very low. There were not many people doing candid photography. So I took some sort of okay pictures, and people thought, "Oh, this is very nice." So I was very lucky that way. If I took those pictures now, nobody would give me any work. But back in 2011, it was sort of little different from the norm back then. So therefore, somebody hired me. A few months later, somebody hired me to shoot their wedding. That was the first paid assignment that I had. I was a wedding in Bangalore. That was about 5, 6 months after I quit my job. I was trying out a bunch of things. I tried to do some freelance writing. I took on a research project. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I tried a bunch of things, and photography happened to sort of work out. I was lucky enough. So yeah.
And besides wedding photography, you also do portrait, architecture,
I
and I
do,
think
yes.
editorial as well. So, what do you love the most about photography?
I enjoy taking pictures. I like taking pictures of anything. I mean, I like taking pictures of people. I love taking pictures of buildings. I've done a few projects where I've shot heritage buildings like the Madras High Court, the Government Music College, the for the Corporation of Chennai. I did a project for. So they were those were the ones that I really enjoyed for a couple of reasons. I mean, I like taking all of these pictures, but the good thing about shooting buildings is they stay in one place. You can take your time, and you can keep taking pictures until you're happy.
These are very
Unlike
patient.
people, yes, no, no, yeah, exactly. Buildings are very patient. That's really nice way to put it. Whereas people, especially in the midst of a wedding, those are very fleeting moments. So it's sort of high stress, and I'm nervous before every wedding shoot because I've done 300 odd weddings now, and still the day before I'm really nervous. Whereas when I'm shooting architecture or buildings, it's fine. I don't ever feel nervous. I just land up there. If one building, I can spend half an hour on that building. I just take whatever time I want, and then until I'm really happy with the shot, I can come back the next day. If this is cloudy, if it's raining, I can come back. So shooting buildings is nice that way. It's enjoyable and low stress.
So, you would prefer architecture shoot versus
No,
a wedding?
not that I prefer. I enjoy doing it. Also, I do less of that. Weddings are bread and butter for me. So maybe if I did a lot of architecture and less weddings, my view on it might be different. But because I do these architecture things, and I haven't done general architecture work. It's just heritage, documenting heritage stuff. So that stuff has been really. I mean, I like heritage. I like history, heritage. I like understanding the history of a building before I take pictures of it. Not that it makes a difference to the picture, just that I just feel like I'm doing a little more than just taking pictures. Sort of documenting the story of a certain structure. So that I like that. I like those bits. Yeah.
Wonderful. And have you also taken any formal training, or you're self-taught, completely
No,
self-taught?
no. Self-taught, self-taught. The good thing about photography is it's very easy to learn. Unlike other skills, you can go from zero to basic competence in a very short amount of time. You can't do that with like piano or guitar or something. You got to spend a lot of time before you reach a base level of competence. Whereas with photography, you can reach a base level very quickly. And then, of course, getting better is a very slow process. So I sort of learned the basics, and with that sort of blind confidence, I jumped into this, and
And
it somehow
added
worked
100
out. So
minutes
yeah,
to your pictures and made them unique.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I mean, but yeah, whatever it is, it worked out. So I guess I should be happy. Yes.
So, moving from a corporate career to a creative one is not for the weak-hearted. Tell us, did you have to face any criticisms when you made the career change?
Um, my parents were a bit puzzled. They were not. They were always very supportive, but they were like, what is this guy doing? Because I quit. I quit without a plan. So they were very puzzled, and then photography happened, and they were even more puzzled because I'd never been a photographer before. I'd never knew how to use a camera. So they were like, they thought maybe this is a passing phase. Maybe he'll get bored of it. And they asked me like, don't you miss the intellectual challenge of the law and stuff like that? So not so much pushback, but just like a sort of bewilderment at the decision that I made. I don't think they were happy. I think they would have been happy if I'd remained a lawyer, perhaps. I don't know, by now maybe they changed. But back then they weren't entirely happy, but they weren't opposed to it or anything like that. They were just a little perplexed. So yeah.
Fair. So, you know how for a corporate lawyer, doing transactions across jurisdictions and cultures is something they really look forward to and thrive. In your career as a photographer, you've done a lot. You've done really interesting overseas gigs. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and how did you manage to go such far and wide audience in such a short span of time?
That's just pure good luck. Those are all the overseas gigs I've done. Somebody I know, like like it's a friend of a friend, or like a relative of a friend, or a friend, some connection like that. Somebody would have seen my work on Facebook, or they would have heard about me from some friend or something like that. So total like just good luck. So I've been lucky enough to shoot in a bunch of places abroad. Because my friends have been really supportive also. Like, I mean, I have to thank them for the fact that they referred me for weddings in places like Australia and the US and the UK and Sri Lanka and all of those. So yeah, pure good luck. That's all.
If you were to draw an analogy with your photography career versus your legal career, technically you've gotten work from referral relationships. That's what exactly works with lawyers as well,
Yeah,
right? With go that
yeah,
business
yeah,
from
yeah,
referral relationships. Yeah. So
yeah,
clearly you're not so
absolutely.
bad in business development, huh? Clearly you're not so bad.
I don't think it has anything to do with my business development talents at all. I think it's just I lucked out, really. I lucked out. I started doing this at a time when the industry was not so crowded, and a lot of my friends really helped me out a lot by referring and spreading the word. So more than my business development ability, it's just my good fortune with regard to the people in my life who helped out. I think, yeah, that's more the key.
So, like you said, you've been in the photography field for over a decade. What is your view on how overpopulated and competitive your field seems now? Also, it's very interesting that you always plan to work solo. So tell us, why not work with a team?
Okay. So two things. Firstly, it is very crowded. What is my thought on that? I don't really have any thoughts on how crowded it is, except that I'm so lucky that I'm not trying to make it now, because trying to make it now would be very, very hard. I'm lucky that I'm sitting in 2021 with 300, 350, something like that, weddings already in my sort of catalog. Uh, because starting out now would be very hard, considering that there's lots of competition. So yeah, that's my only thought about it. It's difficult industry to break into now compared to 10 years ago. And what was the
In
other
terms of
question?
going
Sorry.
solo.
Yeah, going solo, because I don't like managing people. I don't want to coordinate. I don't want to depend. I don't want to be calling somebody and saying, dude, where are you? Why are you not at the shoot? I don't want the hassle of coordinating. And I'm a bit of a control freak. I know exactly what I want to shoot. I know I want to shoot it, and I want to do it that particular way, edit it a particular way. If somebody else is taking the pictures, I won't. I feel like that control freak in me won't be happy. So as long as I'm doing it myself, I'm okay. I mean, there's less work for me. There's assignments I lose out on because of this solo operator criterion of mine, but peace of mind is there. I'm responsible only for myself. Like if I mess up, then it's on me, uh, and that's it. Yeah.
Fair. Tell us about your most favorite wedding shoot that you've done till now.
Okay.
It could be
So again,
funny, it could be emotional, it could be embarrassing, anything.
so honestly, the weddings I've enjoyed the most are the ones I've shot abroad, only because they are uh, very different in terms of the setting at the bare minimum. But I think my favorite is probably the wedding I shot in Sydney, because it's the only one where there was no Indians. I mean, there was neither the bride nor the groom was Indian. Uh, uh, it was a Jewish wedding, and it was in a really beautiful place. Uh, uh, yeah, I mean, it was everything about it was so different, and it was really exciting. So yeah, I love the pictures. I still really cherish the pictures from that wedding, and yeah, just how different it was. That's what I really enjoyed, and that's what I would love to do. As much as I enjoy shooting, every wedding that I do, uh, I would love the opportunity to shoot weddings in new places with new rituals, sort of new kind of scenes to shoot. That would be more exciting and more challenging. So yeah.
Fantastic. What skills as a lawyer that you acquired during your legal career stint, what skills helped you navigate your life as a photographer?
I have very detailed terms and conditions in my emails. So, I, in
I'm sure.
fact, somebody told me, Macha, this is too strict. So I had to tone it down, make it a bit more friendly, less loyally when I send the email out to the client. The other advantage was couple of times clients were a bit iffy with payment. I just sort of told them, listen, I'm a lawyer. It's very easy for me to sue you.
You played the
Uh,
lawyer.
and, that, and that was enough for them to settle the payment very quickly. So just twice out of 300 odd weddings, just twice. So
Story.
I've been very lucky with clients that way. Yeah. So those are the two things I guess I've carried over from the lawyering days into photography. Yes.
Fantastic. Made very good use of your legal career. Good to know. Tell us, what have you been up to during the pandemic?
Oh man, yeah, pandemic's been really bad. Um, there's less work, and I'm also hesitant to take on work. There have been weddings happening. I canceled a couple of shoots in April. I canceled a couple of shoots in May just because I didn't want to take the risk of. Even at great cost to my bank balance, I chose to not shoot in the midst of the second wave, even though people were having weddings. I don't understand why people were having weddings, but they were. And so wedding work has been really not great at all. But I've been able to sell prints of some of my non-wedding work. And so that's been good. People have been buying prints. So I some historical buildings, landscapes, that kind of stuff. And I've been doing a few portrait shoots and a lot of writing. I do freelance writing. I have a column in News Laundry. I did a long form story for 52, and I really should be doing more writing. So yeah,
Very
that's what
interesting.
I've been doing. Hopefully, I'll do more writing until things get better.
Great. I'm just intrigued. Have you done any portrait shoots for lawyers?
Lawyers, not specifically, no. Oddly enough, I've not.
Are you
Maybe
open?
I should. If any lawyers are watching this, please hire me to shoot your lawyerly portraits. I would be happy to do that. So, yeah. I'm seeing all these comments pop up. Am I supposed to respond to these comments also, or do we do that later?
Um, we can absolutely do that. Before, let me just ask you the last question for today, and then we can take
Go
the
ahead, go
comments
ahead.
if you would like. Do you have any piece of advice for law students or
No
even
problem.
qualified lawyers for that matter who may be interested in,
Uh-huh.
taking up photography as a full-time career?
So sorry, you are breaking up. Can you tell me again?
Yeah, I'm saying, would you have any piece of advice for law students and qualified
Huh.
lawyers who may be interested in
Mm-hmm.
taking photography as a full-time career?
Specifically for lawyers, I mean, I would say right now just stick to lawyering because photography is a very uncertain career at this point in time because of all the pandemic and all of that stuff. I would say hang on, keep your high-paying law jobs, build up some savings. Maybe in 2023, you can think about hopping onto a freelance life. This is a bad time to become a freelance. I mean, if you've got savings, if you've got a safety net, do whatever you want, have fun. But if not, this is, I would say, I wish I was getting a salary now because I haven't earned any money since the beginning of April. So I would say, uh, hang on, wait a little bit, and let this whole thing pass before you take any risky decisions. So that's my only advice at this point in time.
Thank you for being so honest. If anybody has any questions for Vinay, we can definitely take those up. I'm just curious,
Yeah,
Vinay. Can you read? Are you able to see some?
I'm scrolling a few. I think somebody had asked me about cinematography.
Okay, so
Uh, Quick question: do I miss the money from the lawyer world? Little bit, yes. Especially when I see my friends in law firms having no financial difficulty right now. I mean, not the quantum of money, but the regular flow of money. I miss the fact that you can get a paycheck every month. But the quantum of money, I don't miss it so much. The my corporate lawyer friends are making far more money than me right now. One of them just booked a really fancy car yesterday, and I'm like, what the? I mean, yeah. So I mean, yeah, I look at it and it's funny, but I don't actually miss it. I wouldn't. Let me put it this way: uh, if I had a choice of going back every day to a law firm and I can buy a fancy car, I would still not take that option. So.
hmm, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody had asked about cinematography. I want to do more cinematography. Um, I was supposed to do something last couple of projects last year, but it got canned because of COVID. Hopefully, once COVID subsides, I will try and do more, cinematography. Somebody's asking how much whey is the right amount of whey. Uh, one scoop to start with, and then you can take it up as you require. But please have your whey protein. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, somebody. What else? I don't know what else. What I'm trying to scroll these questions, but somebody.
Somebody's asking,
Pardon?
somebody's
What
saying,
genre of non-wedding?
yeah, sorry, please,
Yeah,
please.
Grishma wants me to hire her. Hire her. Hi, Grishma. Like I said, I'm a one-man operation. I can't hire anyone. Right now, I can barely pay myself. So there's no way I can pay you or anybody else. So maybe someday, if I change, if my circumstances and my outlook change, we can talk about it. And what else? I'm trying to scroll as well. Uh, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Why did he leave the law short of being made partner? Because I was not enjoying it. Because, and once you become partner, it's a little harder. You got more responsibility. It's your own practice area. You got your own clients to look after. Uh, so that whole transition becomes a lot more challenging once you become partner. So it was better to get out before that happened. It was pretty hard anyway. There was lots of uh, transition issues, obviously, long time clients and all that. But yeah, I remember one client wrote to my firm after 2 years after I left saying, "Oh, we just saw on Google that Vinay is no longer a lawyer, so who's going to handle our work from now and all that." So yeah,
We have another question
How
here.
do you cope with anxieties and uncertainties of moving away from a stable income? Um, so I moved away from a stable income, even though my income stream is not stable now. It's a generous income stream. Wedding photography pays quite well. So nowhere near corporate lawyer levels, but it's a good amount of money. So uh, that's a little bit makes up for the lack of stability. I mean, except right now, but in general, the that sort of tides over the anxiety. I might have a busy month with 3, 4 weddings. That will cover me for the next month, even if I don't shoot, you know, stuff like that. So yeah.
Ravina is asking, tell us the work of some photographers you really like.
Um, Lots of photographers I like. Wedding photographers? Oh, okay. Wedding photographers. Who all do I like? I like Chenthil Mohan in Bangalore. I like Varun Suresh and Rahul Sadagopan in Chennai. Um, lots of good photographers now. I mean, it's just the Siddharth Singh in Bangalore, I think. Um, yeah, just so many good photographers. Like I love to sit down and make a list because off the top of my head, it's hard to list them out. Not wedding specific. Yo, that is harder. You know, I don't follow photography as an art form. I really should, but I'm very ignorant. Joseph Radhik, I don't like so much. Very staged. I don't like that style, that very cinematic staged sort of things. I like more intimate. That my style of work is to focus um, on stuff that happens, which is not. I mean, I don't like staging anything. But that Joseph style, which is it's not bad. I mean, it's beautiful. They're beautiful pictures, but it's the focus is on spectacular stuff, and I prefer more intimate. So it's like polar opposites of my approach. So yeah, so I mean, Joseph's great. I mean, so are all the people who follow his style. Amar Ramesh in Chennai, similar. Lots of people who do that and do it really well also. But you need a big team to do all that. You know, you need somebody to throw that dupatta in the air, somebody else to hold one light, somebody to hold the second light, somebody to throw the color bomb. I can't do all that on my own. So my strength is to focus on intimate moments, and yeah, that's all.
Brilliant. It's been lovely
Uh,
having you with us. Are there
but
more?
there are more, but depends on how much time you have.
Maybe I am not able to wait. I may have missed. Okay, somebody's asking, would you
How do
call
you
yourself
spend
a
your time?
photography?
I'm
Could
not
you
a
please go ahead?
filmmaker, yeah. I'm not a filmmaker. I'm not a filmmaker. What is it? How do you spend your time apart from fitness routine? When I'm not online, when I'm not online working out or shooting, I'm probably sleeping or eating. That's pretty much. I mean, or watching some TV show or something. Nothing great. Nothing great. So yeah,
Fair, fair.
yeah. How to become a Twitter celeb? Keep tweeting, man. I'm not a celeb, but if you want to following on Twitter, keep tweeting some nonsense. Just keep putting out some shit relentlessly.
I think looks like you're having a lot of fun on this live. It's
Yeah, this is super
I
fun.
think
I've
it's
never done this before, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah,
great.
go on dates, Vinay. What does that mean? I'm married. I'm married. I'm not going on dates. I'm definitely not eating. I am eating. Yeah, I love food. I love food. I work out so much so that I can eat food. So yeah, 2 shakes, 2 meals. Yes, that's correct. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Lovely.
That's
So
yeah.
so with that we'll call bring this to an end before this live goes away because I think there's a time restriction on Instagram live. So
Oh,
thank
okay.
you so much, Vinay, for joining us live, and
My
we
pleasure.
wish you all the very best and
Thank
hope
you.
you have a great weekend. And thank you to all the lovely audience. Thank you for all this
Thank you.
awesome engagement. We thoroughly enjoyed.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.